There's really no such thing as a big country that's not a troublemaker. Previously, we saw the United States suddenly put a lot of pressure on Japan. Trump once said he would impose a 25% tariff to block Japanese trade. Out of nowhere, when Japan stood its ground, Trump changed his mind and said he'd raise it to 30 or even 35%. So why did they have to put so much pressure on Japan, even though Japan is a G7 member? Being in the G7 basically means they're close allies. They're supposed to be close friends in the same group as the United States. Why would America go that far? What did they want? Did they want Japan to buy rice from America or something? That just seems off, doesn't it? Or was it because Japan had too big of a trade surplus with America? But there were other countries with even bigger surpluses than America. But, maybe it's because Japan did something to make America mad. And let me tell you, it's all tied to the chip war, national security, and technology, things the United States takes really seriously. In this war, the main players are Japan, China, America, and the world's biggest chip company, Nvidia. Wow, with all of them together, this is bound to be intense. You can support this video by scanning this QR code. Once you watch, you'll see that there's no such thing as a big player who isn't ruthless. Or you can easily support the Sin Money Monster channel. Just hit like, share, and leave a comment to chat with me. Or please subscribe so we can catch up next time I post a new video. First of all, I want to say a huge congratulations to anyone who currently owns Nvidia stock. Anyone? Anyone? Because right now, Nvidia is the first company in the world to reach a market cap of $4 trillion US. And that's even after big boss Donald Trump banned them from selling chips to China. So when they couldn't sell chips to China, they lost billions of dollars in revenue. But Nvidia doesn't really care. Maybe they don't care about not being able to sell chips to China, or maybe they don't care about the ban from the big boss. I'm not really sure about that. We'll talk more about Nvidia in a bit, but let me go back for a moment. One of the main points of this video is that Japan's economy right now is really not doing well. And now they're getting squeezed by the US too. Why does America put so much pressure on Japan? Here is some background. Since Liberation Day, the United States announced a 25% tariff to restrict trade with Japan, especially in the automotive industry, and that 25% figure is really heavy. Then Japan's Prime Minister, Shinzo Ishiba, came out and made it clear that, hey, there's no way we can agree to that. No matter what, Japan has to protect the interests of the country and its people. And most importantly, what Shinzo absolutely refused to accept was the issue concerning farmers, who are the backbone of the nation. He simply would not agree to buying rice from America. Trump responded sarcastically, saying, hey, Japan is already struggling with a rice shortage, so why not buy rice from America? But Shinzo replied that they had to protect their farmers. Get it, you? Seeing Japan's stance, Trump then went public and said, if we can't reach an agreement, then we just won't make one. No need to talk. I'll just send a letter. Just tell him we're imposing a 30 to 35% trade tariff on Japan to settle this once and for all. Mr. Shinzo Ishiba actually gave an interview to the media saying he stands by his original position. No compromise. And as for that 35% tariff, Japan's not paying it. Yeah, but can they really refuse to pay? Because if Japan just goes along with the deal exactly the way the United States wants, Japan probably won't make it. Let me show you the numbers. This is a projection from back when Trump said he would impose a 25% tariff on Japan. Bloomberg Economics predicted just how much this would devastate Japan's economy. Japan's GDP would plummet by 1.2%, and Japan's debt would rise by 0.6%. The impact is this strong because 1/5 of Japan's exports go to the US. So this would make Japan's economy, which is already in recession, you see, with GDP having been negative for more than 2 consecutive quarters, even worse. It could fall even deeper into recession. So what can Japan do? Can they just print more money? They can't, because the yen is already weak. If they print more money, the yen will get even weaker. Now, exports face issues from trade barriers and tariffs. Imports will also struggle if the currency gets too weak. If it's too weak, people have to import goods, and it gets expensive. So basically, Japan is stuck. Both exports and imports are affected. Mr. Shinzo Ishiba said outright that negotiations with the United States must result in a good deal. Only a favorable agreement will do. If they can't get a good deal, then there's no need for an agreement at all. Just end it right there. But Donald Trump wouldn't back down. He basically said, if we can't come to terms, then take this letter and that's it. Tariffs will go up to 30 to 35%. Because Donald Trump called the trade between the United States and Japan unfair trade. Just look at this chart and you'll see that Japan has a trade surplus with the United States of $68.5 billion, almost $70 billion already. And the reason Donald Trump imposed so many trade barriers and tariffs on Japan is because he wanted to break up this surplus. He wanted Japan's trade surplus to disappear. And if you ask if Japan really gets hit with that many trade tariffs, like 25, 30, even 35%, so where exactly would the damage start to show up? Well, it would likely hit Japan's automotive industry. And the biggest company there is Toyota. This information is from Bloomberg. I got it back when Donald Trump announced the 25% tariff to see how much damage it would cause. The damage is that Toyota would lose about $1.3 billion in profit. And in terms of revenue, Toyota alone would lose tens of billions of US dollars. But if you combine all 5 brands together, the Trump tariffs would cause Japan's auto industry to lose a huge amount. Toyota, Honda, Nissan, Subaru, and Mazda would see their total revenue drop by 23 billion US dollars. But keep in mind, this data is a bit old. It's from last April, back when there was talk of Trump raising tariffs by 25%. But as for the new data showing how much damage would be done if tariffs were raised to 30 or 35%, well, I still haven't been able to find that, but what's certain is that the impact would be much greater than before. And if you ask just how severe the damage would be to Japan's auto industry, the answer is extremely severe. Because the auto industry makes up 10% of Japan's GDP, and it accounts for 8% of all employment in the country. That means if the auto industry doesn't survive, it could take down the entire Japanese economy with it. It wouldn't survive either. And right now, Japan's domestic economy isn't doing well either. Japan is already struggling just from the pressure from the United States, right? But the threats or challenges facing Japan aren't just limited to that. Japan's biggest industry is the automotive sector, isn't it? But now, Japan also has to compete with another major rival, China. That's because China's EV industry has also been pressured by the United States, so they can't sell in America either. So now China has to go all out and try to conquer the global market, right? So if Japan can't sell to America and has to look for other markets around the world, it probably won't be able to compete with China. And the main reason Japan can't compete with China is, first of all, the price. Because the EV war that China is waging right now is being fought on the playing field where China is strongest. What's the situation with China's EV price war right now? If you bought earlier, you paid more. If you buy later, you finish paying off your installments first. That's how Chinese EVs are. And no matter who comes up with or creates some groundbreaking, high-tech, innovative technology, if China decides to follow suit, they can make something with almost the same quality, sometimes even equal, but at a much, much lower price. It's honestly baffling how China manages to produce each technology so cheaply. And the low price of Chinese EVs really affects consumers' decisions. Basically, Japan's market cap has been taken over by China by a huge margin. And I believe the US is well aware of this strategy too. I'm not sure what exactly America wants from Japan. But what's clear is that if the US puts too much pressure on Japan to the point where Japan's auto industry can't survive, the US must also realize that China is growing rapidly and will put pressure on Japan from the other side. Either way, the US knows that in these negotiations, they have the upper hand. Honestly, why did Donald Trump do this? Did he just want Japan to buy American products? Is that it? Even if America could sell rice to Japan, the money from selling rice wouldn't make the US that much richer. And let's not forget, Japan is one of the G7 members, which is basically a group of the world's major powers. The real inner circle is the G7. Right? And Prime Minister Ishiba actually said that Japan is the country that invests the most in the United States, and Japan creates the most jobs for Americans. So we can't be treated like just any other country. But as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, don't be too quick to see Japan as just a victim here. Because there's no such thing as a big country that isn't a little sneaky. So did Japan do something to upset America? Let me show you this chart. If you look at 2024, the country that sells the most chips to China in the world is Japan. In fact, half, 50% of the chips produced in Japan are exported to China. This brings in as much as 10 billion US dollars in revenue for Japan, and as everyone knows, since 2023 to 2024. What the United States is most concerned about is blocking China from accessing high-tech chips. But Japan sells them to China. The chips that China gets from Japan are actually a key part that allows China to build its own semiconductor ecosystem domestically. So the question is, shouldn't America be angry about this? They probably are angry, because they've made it very clear that they're serious about blocking China on this issue. Even their own domestic companies, like Nvidia has grown by selling chips. Selling chips to China brings Nvidia a huge amount of revenue, but the US government has also banned Nvidia from selling chips to China. This cost Nvidia $10 billion in revenue from this segment. And it's not just about the money. Demand in China remains high. If they can't buy from Nvidia, they'll just find other sources. So that revenue, instead of going to Nvidia, right, it ends up going to Huawei instead. So not only does Nvidia miss out on $10 billion in revenue, but it also helps their competitor grow. But anyway, maybe Nvidia doesn't really care about that 10 billion US dollars. Because look, Nvidia has grown by 69%. They have $44 billion in revenue, which is the highest in America. And their market cap is now the largest in the world. It's already hit 4 trillion US dollars. Jensen Huang, the CEO of Nvidia, came out and shared his thoughts about how the US has been restricting Nvidia's business with China, questioning whether it's really the right thing to do. Is it really the right thing or not? Jensen Huang said that, honestly, whether China has Nvidia chips or not, it won't really have that much of an impact on China's tech industry. The more the US tries to block China, it's like they're just pushing China to become even stronger in other parts of the world. Meanwhile, when the US tries to block China, it just weakens itself. In today's AI industry, competition isn't just about chips anymore. There are so many other areas they're competing in. Let's listen to this.
Shielding Chinese chip makers from U.S. competition only strengthens them abroad and weakens America's position. Export restrictions have spurred China's innovation and scale. The AI race is not just about chips, it's about which stack the world runs on. As that stack grows to include 6G and quantum, U.S. global infrastructure leadership is at stake.
After listening to Jensen Huang say this, I can't help but think it's probably because Nvidia is selling well right now, so it doesn't really affect them when their own government bans sales to China. Even if they lose tens of billions in revenue, it's likely no big deal. But then, looking at another news story, let's open up another headline. On July 9th, Bloomberg ran a special report that China is building data centers that require Nvidia chips, specifically mentioning the brand, a total of 110,000 units. China wants 110,000 Nvidia chips. How are they going to buy them? Right, how are they going to buy them? In this Bloomberg report, they said outright that the US government got a massive headache when they saw this information, because America has banned Nvidia from selling chips to China. Since 2022, rules have tightened, even for less advanced chips like the H20. While these are currently banned, the US might grant an exception and let Nvidia sell H20 chips to China again. Or maybe it's a signal that tensions between China and the United States are starting to ease. But anyway, Bloomberg also wrote that no one really knows how China would even go about buying chips from Nvidia. Because for sure, China can't legally buy chips from Nvidia at all without a government license, and the US government definitely isn't going to grant one. And if China somehow gets these chips and uses them to build a data center, which, by the way, is located in the middle of a desert, this essentially means China would be able to establish another high-tech base. That's pretty scary. Who? China? Nope, it's Nvidia. Honestly, the US is so busy watching out for its friends, they can't keep an eye on other countries. They really need to watch their own people as well.